Good evening, friends, dear devotees. This lockdown is continuing, and particularly here in Illinois state, it seems that it will be up to the end of the May. So today is the last Wednesday of this month, and the whole May also we are expecting to be giving the class online. But it is a great response. Many people are listening, and they are very enthusiastic to earn questions, to talk. So I was thinking from today, I will keep the last 10 minutes to give some answers. You can, in the chat, you can write your question and related to this topic today, and then we will try to give the answer from there. So I think all of you are keeping healthy and happy, though inside in the rooms and the houses, but still let us always be happy. There's sometimes some people, they become bored with this. So I always tell them the story of that happened in the life of Aurobindo Ghosh. So he was in the prison, in a cell, and there was no one he could see, he could talk. And then he was thinking what to do. It was a terrible punishment. You know, the cell is a very, naturally you can't for months together, can't see anyone, talk anyone. In the social being, the human being can't live in that way. But he, to utilize that particular time, he started meditating. So that was the great turning point in the life of Sri Aurobindo, and he came out as a Rishi Aurobindo from the jail. So utilize this. Remember that the rishis, they themselves used to go into the seclusion, and they used to live in the caves. The life was not at all comfortable in that jungle and the caves, but they used to utilize this. So meditation, spiritual practices, and having the company of the family members, understanding, adjustment, all these wonderful qualities we should develop. So when we were discussing about the qualities of a monk as a sadhu at the last Sunday in the Bhagavata, you know that 28 the wonderful qualities that the Sri Krishna was telling, and the same Sri Krishna, the Lord, he said that thing in the Bhagavad Gita also. So what is religion? Religion means developing some qualities. So let us develop these qualities, and this is an opportunity for all of us. Well, friends, let us begin with this mantra. Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam kabibhiriditam kalmashapaham shravana mangalam srimadatam bhuvi grinanti e bhurida janaha. We are reading the account that has been recorded by the Sri Master Mahashaya, that is the October 5th, Sunday, 1884. And then that whether a person will make spiritual progress or not can be known to a great extent by his physical marks. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is telling this. It is in the page number 597 of the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. You know that this is called the Samudra Vidya. The Samudra Vidya is a different type of the study, the subject. Some people, they can understand by seeing the feature, whether this man is good or bad, or these are success and all that. Nowadays, I was observing in the Anandavajar Patrika, they give that different type of people according to the star, what type of characteristics, whether they will be successful, they will be happier, all to some extent it goes really good. The calculation is really good. And Sri Ramakrishna was perfect in this subject and he could do it, but we are not going to discuss it today. Those who are interested, they can read afterwards. But he said that by seeing that a person's feature, one can understand whether he will make the spiritual progress or not. Then he goes in this way and he says, Sri Ramakrishna is talking, then suddenly he noticed that Baburam and Master Mahashaya, they are discussing something. So he asked, what are you talking about? Then both of them they replied, about Nilkanta's performance. Nilkanta was a very famous singer in those days. The singer in not that sense, they were all religious performers. So they used to perform different portions of the Bhagavata or the Purana, and that was a unique system to spread the morality and religious different things. So the people used to learn a lot of things about the religion from those performances. The education in those days, when the Sri Ramakrishna was there in the 19th century in India, after the subjugation of such a long time, the majority of the people, they could not get that proper education, only very few. Books were not also available. So in that situation, the performers, the singers, they used to go from place to place and they used to narrate beautifully, and sometimes with the dances, sometimes a song, and then narration. That way people used to learn a lot, and we can understand by reading from here. At that time, the gentleman named this Nilkanta was a very famous person. So the Nilkanta has come to Dakshinesha. He had performed in the night. In those days, it was only night only they used to do. I had an experience when I went somewhere in the West Bengal, in India, in a village. I was expecting people in the afternoon, in the evening time. So, but there was nothing, no one, very few people. Then I was wondering what happened, why they have invited me. Then I asked the organizer, they said, oh no, they will come after the night food, after the dinner. And truly, after the dinner hall, they came the huge, of course, not to listen to me, they came to observe the drama. But anyway, they all came. Then I gave a talk. After that, the drama whole night, and in the morning they went back. That is the village, the way they still now they have this type of system. So we can understand that the previous night the Nilakanta he performed, and many people attended. Baburam Maharaj, afterwards Swami Premananda, whom Sri Ramakrishna used to love him very much, because he used to say even his bones are also pure. There is no impurity. That means he was not having any association with the worldly things, no attachment for the worldly things, desire. So Sri Ramakrishna could recognize this boy is really very pure. So that Baburam Maharaj is the family name was Baburam. So Baburam Maharaj, and also the Ma. And they said that they were talking about him. Then Sri Ramakrishna started walking along with them, particularly with the Ma, him. There is that in Dakshinesha, those who have visited, there's a long corridor. So they were walking over there. Suddenly, Sri Ramakrishna took that our aim aside and said, the less people know about your thoughts of God, the better for you. See, this is called Guru. Guru knows what is good for the disciple. So he understood the aim, slowly talking about his ideas about God and exchanging these things. Sri Ramakrishna didn't appreciate that. So he told that aim, it is better that people should not know about your God. Less people know about your thoughts of God, the better for you. Saying these words, the master abruptly went away. A short time afterwards, he began to talk with Hajra. Now, only one line that Master Mahashaya noted. It is a very significant. Those who are coming to God, they should be very careful. Unless and until they are confirmed, they know all these things, they should not try to disclose it. Why? By talking with them, through argumentation, all this, the energy flitters away. Then suppose I say something, my view about God, and someone comes and contradict me, no, it is not like this, you are making a mistake, then the two things may happen. First, I can become agitated. Why he is contradicting me? He doesn't know anything. I will go and try to get out the references and show him, see, this is here in this scripture, it says like this. By that way, a lot of energy will go away. And secondly, I may get confused also. Because when I am talking with him, maybe the opponent who is talking with me is very strong in putting the arguments, and if he gives that argument, maybe I get confused and I thought, oh, he is telling right. So I will be carried away with his idea. That may not be correct. So that is the reason Sri Ramakrishna, he observed aim, and this is called Guru. The Guru always keeps an eye on his disciple. He knows how he is developing. There are different type of disciples. Majority they come, they take the initiation and they go, and very few they keep the touch with the Guru, or very sincere about the spiritual practices. That is also, for them it is nothing wrong. Slowly, once the seed has gone, slowly it will sprout, and the tree will come someday. That is for sure. But those who are very eager to develop, particularly Master Mahashaya, he was so close to Sri Ramakrishna, and Sri Ramakrishna knew that through Master Mahashaya, his messages will go to the posterity. So he was very careful about his growth. So here we find like this. The Hajra was telling, Nilakanta told you he would pay you a visit. It would be good to send for him. The Hajra giving a suggestion. Master Sri Ramakrishna saying, no, he didn't sleep at all last night. It will be different if he come here through the will of God. So I am not going to call him. Let him take rest. And if he of his own come, because he is a famous person, if he comes, it's good, it's all right. Otherwise, it is okay. The Sri Ramakrishna, see, it is a God who is giving the call. And the call should reach in the heart of the devotee, and the devotee should respond and come. So that is the reason Sri Ramakrishna wants to wait. And he is mentioning over here that it is better that he comes here through the will of God. If God wills, he will come. So this is the idea. Many times that some of the devotees, I can remember, I am not going to name, but in Andaman, a very famous writer came and to visit the Andaman, and then the devotees told, please invite him. I told, that won't be good, because he has come for a different purpose. He has not come to visit the ashram. But anyway, if you like, you can go. They went, they wanted to invite him, but he said, no, see, that's the evening time, it is my party time, I cannot go to visit the ashrama, like that. So he was a different mentality, different people, different mentality. God knows it very well. So he wanted to wait. He's a famous singer. And naturally, Sri Ramakrishna is not going to call him in that way. Then afterwards, Sri Ramakrishna asked Babu Ram to visit Narayan at his house. Is another boy. He looked on Narayan as God himself. See, when the God comes in the form of a human being to establish dharma, along with him, different gods and goddesses also come, and they are all in different forms, and to make the Leela complete, the divine play complete. So there is one character we find, the Narayan. Sri Ramakrishna considering him as God himself, so he longed to see him. The master said to Babura, "You may go to him with one of your English textbooks." You know, as because the parents were not very happy with Sri Ramakrishna. And Sri Ramakrishna used to talk to the younger people about the God, about the renunciation. Obviously and naturally, the parents, they were not very happy. So here, Sri Ramakrishna asking almost the same age group, Baburam Maharaj, not that time he didn't become the monk, to go and visit this Narayan. Why? Because Narayan was having very good qualities. So if this young boy goes to him and talk to him and become friendly, he will also understand those things. But he told, you better take your book. If the parents, they see that the boy is coming with textbooks, then naturally they will think, oh, they have come to consult about the study, so they won't mind about. So Sri Ramakrishna, by that way, very, very clever. About 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Sri Ramakrishna was sitting in his room. Nilakantha arrived with 5 or 6 of his companions. The master went out toward the east door as if to welcome them. The musicians bowed before the master, touching the ground with their foreheads. Sri Ramakrishna went into Samadhi. Baburam stood behind him. M. Nilakantha and the musicians were in front of him, watching him in great amazement. Dinanath, an officer of the temple, looked on from the north side of the bed. Soon the room was filled with officers of the temple gardens. Sri Ramakrishna's ecstasy abated a little. He seated himself on a mat on the floor, surrounded by Nilakantha and other devotees. So here you can see that the Master Mahashaya, a thing is happening, something is happening inside a room. It's not a very big room, the small, we have, in most of us, we have visited the room where Sri Ramakrishna used to stay, and that only one room, everyone used to go over there. Now the temple officers, they have also come. Why? The famous singer is visiting Sri Ramakrishna. And these people, they paid money, I think, to the famous singer, and the singer is coming to visit Sri Ramakrishna. So obviously they were taking, what is it? Is he going to charge again? What is going to happen? So they were curious, and they were also interested to have the company of the famous singer. So they also came. Who was standing where? At a glance, at that very moment, Master Mahashaya, who was in front of Sri Ramakrishna, as if coming along with the musician group, and he noticed that Baburam is standing just behind Sri Ramakrishna. Baburam was very careful. Sri Ramakrishna went into ecstasy. He may fall because the body consciousness is not there. So Baburam used to take very care about Sri Ramakrishna. So he is standing just behind it. And then one of the officials, he is standing in the corner of the bed, and many other. So every details, in a glance he looked, and he remembered, he noted it. Now, when he noted it, when this was published, all these people were alive, except Sri Ramakrishna, all they were there. So, obviously, this is a vivid picture. No one can have any doubt about it. So, this is how not only the conversation, but also the whole picture, and if we can imagine, we can at least we can see that before our mind's eye, we can see that these things are happening. So, they enter into Master, still in an ecstatic mood, I am all right. And the Nilakantha with folded hands, make me all right too. The Master smiling, why, you are already all right. So we will know afterwards, when the conversation that goes on, how the Sri Ramakrishna could understand he is a singer, he is performing, but he was having a divine power, some realization of God, and it is the God's will that he was doing that. Sri Ramakrishna understood it, and I am not telling it right now, we will come to that. How Sri Ramakrishna could understand a person, and whomever he showed his interest, we could see that he was really having some power. So, this man was very humble, so he wanted to get the blessings. He said, you are already blessed. Anilkantha, he said, revered sir, I am entangled in worldliness. Now the Master Sri Ramakrishna, with a smile, he is telling, God has kept you in the world for the sake of others. This is a very important sentence. I am entangled, I am thinking. But Master, the God himself, is telling, God has kept you in the world for the sake of others. Then he said, there are 8 fetters. One cannot get rid of them all. God keeps 1 or 2 so that a man may live in the world and teach others. So, some people who are doing something good for the other people, and we say, oh, he is doing it. It is not. It is God's will. So he is there, he is doing it. Now, if the person who is doing it can understand it, then what will happen? Whatever he is doing will become his sadhana. Whatever the quality I am having, I am a singer, performer. Even through this, this power that I am having, the quality that I am having, I am serving God. I am a missionary. I go to the people and try to give them the spirituality, the morality, the religion through different type of performances. I am a missionary. I am doing this performance. I become humble. And if because of the clappings and the people, they are happy with me and the fan club and all that, then in that case you are bound. The power is given to you by God, but now that power misused. But Nilakantha, about him, Sri Ramakrishna is telling, see, there are 8 fetters. What are the 8 fetters? We have already discussed, but let us remind it. First is grina. Grina is aversion. Second is lajja, the shame. Then the bhoy, the fear. Shanka is doubt. Jugupsha, disgust. Kula, family. Jati, race. Shila, cultured behavior. So, this type of things always one should be very careful about. The aversion we can understand. Sometimes the things are happening, people are there, we don't like them. No, for that is also in other way we are bound to that, because once you are having some aversion, then the attachment is also there. It goes hand in hand. So one should try to be completely equal. The lajja, the shame, this is also the same way. I like to take the name of God, but I feel shy because the friends may criticize me. They may, what they will think about me. So I am not doing it. That way we cannot go towards God. The bhaya, the same fear, the shanka, the doubt, oh, shall I go there? Is there God? Then why am I wasting my time only? I don't know whether God is there or not. So different type of things. Jugupsha, the disgust, the family cooler. Now sometimes we become very proud about our family. We belong to so and so, particularly the king's family and some rich man's family. So that family thing always binds us. We cannot become humble because of that background. Or maybe constantly I will go, oh, these people, they're all very ordinary. I am coming from this and this family. I know this, I know that. The ahankara. And ahamkara means ego, coming because of that also bind us. The same way jati, the race. We can understand the Second World War because of this jati. The group of people, they started thinking they are the great race in the whole world, and naturally others should be under their control. And that was the Second World War. And naturally they all were destroyed, and so much of difficulties and the miseries the people had to suffer in those days. And Shila also, sometimes we can't behave properly because we feel doubtful. People are dancing, people are singing, we can't join with them. Oh, that is ordinary people. How can I do that? So these 8, the aversion, shame, fear, doubt, disgust, family, race, and Shila. This cultured behavior is not that way bad, but if I am thinking the only that, and I am hesitant to take the name of God because of that, that binds. So these are all the 8 fetters. Master Sri Ramakrishna mentioned about it, and he said, one cannot get rid of them all. God keeps 1 or 2 so that a man may live in the world and teach others. So this is the God's purpose, that you should be here, and he gives a strong that thought, and that person is going on doing God's work. But one should know that I am doing God's work. This is important. You have organized this theatrical company. How many people are being benefited by seeing this your bhakti? If you give up everything, then where will these musicians go? God is now doing all these works through you. When they are finished, you will not return to them. The housewife finishes her household duties, feeds everyone, including the maid servants and the maid servants, and then goes to take her bath. She doesn't come back then, even if people shout for her. So, giving the example, like this, we have to perform our duties and then we have to go away. In the life of Swami Vivekananda, we can see these examples very vividly. The Vivekananda, he used to say to his disciple, to his followers, you must die for the betterment of others. So like that. But a time came when he started telling, let the dead bury their dead. I am ready, my father, I like to go back to you. So, Mrite Shatkar Mritera Koruk. Jai Prabhu Jai. So if you read that, it is very touchy. Let the dead bury their dead. What is here in the world? It's nothing. The Vedanta says it is nothing but just Maya's performance. And we are so serious to perform in that way. Now when we go beyond this and we can say, let the dead bury their dead, the way he expressed, this is all the drama only and not real. So this realization, after this, he washed his hand and said, now I am free. Please bless me, the Nilakanta says. Then the Sri Ramakrishna is giving the example. See, Yashoda went mad with grief because she was separated from Krishna. And she went to Radhika, who was meditating. Then Radhika said to her in an ecstatic state, I am the ultimate Prakriti, the primal power. Ask a boon of me. Yashoda said to her, all of you know, Yashoda was the foster mother of Krishna, and Radhika, he was the power of Sri Krishna. What shall I ask of you? Please bless me, that with all my body, mind and speech, I may think of God and serve Him. That with my eyes with my ears I may hear the singing of God's name and glories. That with my hands I may serve Hari and His devotees. That with my eyes I may behold His form and His devotees. So what is the blessings she is asking? The Ma Yashoda, that body, mind and everything, all our limbs, our senses, sense organs, dedicated for God. So that is the complete surrender to God. So I am not separated from God. All the time my mind is thinking of God, and my ear, and the hand, everything, my eyes, all are seeing God, hearing God, listening to God. So that is the prayer. Then Master is telling to that singer, your eyes fill with tears when you utter the name of God. Why then you should worry about anything? Divine love has grown in you. The Sri Ramakrishna, the great master, he observed the human being and he observed the singer. Others went to get the entertainment. Because they're nicely singing, dancing, narrating. So that is another part. But Sri Ramakrishna went and saw the person who is performing. And when the person is crying in the name of God, he could feel that is a genuine tears that is rolling. That is the genuinely he is crying for God. It's not just he is showing off to the people. No. When he is singing, every word, the meaning of the word, touching his mind, and he is feeling that, and that is the reason he is crying. This is called sadhana. Even through the songs, one can realize God. This is the way. I saw one of our Swami, he was performing the arati. There are so many Swamis, they do the arati. But when I saw that young man, he was doing the arati, I really liked it, because his whole body, you can feel that he is doing the arati with a great joy when he is showing the light on the face of the God, Sri Ramakrishna, as if he is looking at the face, trying to see the face with that light. So that from the back I observed it, I liked it so much. So you can feel the person who is performing over there, he is becoming one with that performance. So that is exactly, a very ordinary person like me, if I could feel like that, I really felt really great joy seeing him doing that. So, and Sri Ramakrishna, the God himself, he observed it and he saw it, and he was thinking that this man has already improved. Why then you should worry about anything? Divine love has grown in you. To know many things is ajnana, ignorance. To know only one thing is jnana, knowledge. See, this is the Panchama Veda. That's why I always I feel should be the perfect name for the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. Why? In every page there is a real knowledge is giving. The Veda means knowledge. Just a conversation with a musician Sri Ramakrishna was having, suddenly he brought, you see, Ashtapasha. And that is the discussion. He mentioned about it. Then he is telling, to know many is ignorance. When a person is singing, if he is thinking so many people, they are listening to me, appreciating my song, he is ignorant. This is just a performer, ordinary performer, a musician, a dancer. But the same act, when he is doing with a thought, all the faces, all these people are around me who are looking at me, nothing but my God. The God in different names and forms sitting before me. It is God who is enjoying my songs, my dances, my narrations. I am blessed. So that is the way. One of the direct disciples of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, and he went to the Madras. Swami Ramakrishna-Nandaji, many of you have read his biography. He was a great soul. So he used to go and give a class. But sometimes in the whole hall, in that big hall, not a single person will be there. He alone sitting and giving the whole 1 hour talk. Today, from here, I am talking before a camera. I know that some of you are listening to me, and that is, but the Swami, he was sitting in a big hall, not a single person. Not one day, day after day. Every time he used to go and then used to see the right time, and he will be doing the whole reading and explanation as if hundreds of people sitting before him. Then he will come back. Someday someone asked him, Swami, there is no one. Why you give this discourse? He said, I am talking to my God. God is there. See, this is the sincerity. To see many is ignorance. See, to know one is knowledge. Then Sri Ramakrishna, this small para that explained wonderfully ignorance, and then it says that ajnana in Sanskrit, then jnana, then vijnana. These 3 stages, ajnana, ignorance. What is that ignorance? Seeing many. Though there are different names and forms, but in reality, it is only God who has taken these different names and forms. I am the performer and they are the listeners, but all are same. So this is the beauty. So here, ignorance, ajnana, knowledge, jnana. What is that knowledge? To know one. Then vijnana. What is that vijnana? The realization that God alone is real and that He dwells in all, and to talk to Him is vijnana. So only understanding, intellectual knowledge that God is one and all else that we see is nothing but the manifestation of God, just an intellectual knowledge. Realizing it, feeling it, and then how you can understand that the man has realized it? His behavior. What is the behavior? Just Ramakrishna-Nandaji did. He saw as if the God is sitting everywhere. God is standing before him, and he is discoursing, giving the talk, and having the dialogue with the God himself. That is called vijnana, another step. The vijnana, this word, Sri Ramakrishna used many a times. So first is ajnana, ignorance. I see different people, and I am attached to these different people, and I feel they are the main object of my performance? Wrong thing. And second, I understand that God is taking all this form. Good. Knowledge. But the best is feeling that God is there, I am talking to Him. That's called fuller knowledge, Vijnana. To love God in different ways after realizing Him is Vijnana. So this wonderfully he has explained. The Sri Ramakrishna Dev, this is the Swami Vivekananda said, religion is realization. And Sri Ramakrishna, in this particular passage, we can understand what to realize. What is that realization? God alone is real, and that He dwells in all. That is the realization. When one can have that, then one is really realized person, God realized soul. And after that, some people, they become completely silent. They become full. They don't want anything else. But there are another group, higher than this group, they like to enjoy the God's manifestation in different forms. It's God only playing. So they like to be in a part of that game, divine game, but without attachment. And they enjoy the whole game. That is called Vijnana. It is also said that God is beyond one and two. He is beyond speech and mind. To go up from the Leela to the Nitya and come down again from the Nitya to the Leela is mature bhakti. Bhakti means devotion. And what is that devotion? God is there. God is doing everything. God has created this universe, this world. God has created the bad people and good people. God has created the joy and the suffering. Understanding all these things, realizing this thing, and without being affected by all this, live the life. That Shankaracharya will say, Jivan Mukta. He is liberated while living. Why after death? While living. So enjoy this world without being attached to it. So that is called Jivana Mukta. And from the another point of view, from the devotional point of view, they are great devotees. They like to be in the play of God. The Leela and Nitya. Nitya means completely one, and there is no two. And Leela, once again coming down like the waves. The ocean, there is no wave, so it is the Nitya. And when there is the wave, the wind is blowing and creating the waves, different sizes of waves, different reflection of the sun, and so many varieties, is called Leela, divine play. I love that song of yours about aspiring to reach the lotus feet of the Divine Mother. It is enough to know that everything depends on the grace of God, but one must pray to God. Everything depends on the grace of God. Now sometimes the people, they ask, what about our effort? Purushakara and Daiva Kripa. If Daiva is the final, everything God has already done, then why should we worship? If you have truly realized that, you need not to do anything. But if you have not, if it is a question, if it is a doubt, then you must have to pray. You must have to go. Why? Now, see, in this only, not even a half a page, so many wonderful knowledges about religion we are getting from Sri Ramakrishna. He said that he used to sing a song, this singer. And from there, Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning everything depends on the grace of God. But one must pray to God. It will not do to remain inactive. They say God is doing everything, the grace of God, but you must pray to God. It will not do to remain inactive. God is doing, He knows everything. Why should I do anything? No, you have to be active. Yet, as the Lord Jesus said, knock the door, it will be open unto you. So, the beautiful way they have explained what is the knocking of the door? Prayer. Every day we have to pray to God. And one cannot pray if the person is not having the faith that there is God. There is someone who is listening to me. How can you pray? So this is the beautiful way. Now he is giving an example. The lawyer, I don't know how Sri Ramakrishna learned it, because he never visited any court, but the way he is presenting. The lawyer gives all the arguments and finishes his pleading by saying to the judge, I have said all I have to say. Now the decision rests with your honor. Exactly, the lawyer, they conclude their pleading in this way. So when we are praying to God, we have to say, God, up to this, I have taken the name of yours, and then I have trying to meditate. Now I pray to you, this is the way, please help me, and that much I can do. So what is that Purushakara? Self-effort, this much. The Purushakara is this much, that I will go to God, take His name, work for Him, and then pray to Him to give me His knowledge and His divine darshan. So that is the way he should do, and then ultimately wait for God's grace. The grace, the God's, the divine Daiva Kripa and Purushakara, they mingle together, then there is success. The last verse of the Bhagavad Gita, it says the same way. And when the God's grace and the effort of the human being both go together, there is success. After a few minutes, Sri Ramakrishna said to Nilakanta, you sang so much in the morning, and now you have taken the trouble to come here. But here everything is honorary. I am not going to pay you anything. That is, everything is honorary. Out of your own you have to come. You have to perform. I am not going to give you anything. Look at this man. Though he was a singer, a performer, but at the same time, truly he was advanced in spiritual life. So he said, Nilakanta, why so? And then he said, I shall get a precious gem from here. Not the money, but the precious gem. He meant blessings. Sri Ramakrishna said, you already have that precious gem. What will you gain by adding again the letter A to Ka? That means already A is there, so that he said. If you didn't have the gem, now this is the important line I wanted to mention. If you didn't have the gem means the blessings, spiritual developed the condition. Should I like your songs so much? God loves those who are devoted, who are pure. So when the Lord Sri Ramakrishna, God Sri Ramakrishna, he is liking those songs, they are not songs, they are prayers. So that's why Sri Ramakrishna said, you are already having that gem. Gem means the spiritual developed condition. Should I like your songs so much? Ramprasad had attained divine realization. That is why his songs appeal so much. So this is what Sri Ramakrishna said. Is there any question has come?
Just one question, which says, I do not understand why people always want to argue about God and religion. Bobby Nirvana.
The question is, I do not understand why people always argue about God and religion. He is a faithful. He is completely having the faith. This is good. It's not a question. It's his opinion. So it is okay. It is better to have the doubt and to ask. And then getting the reply from different people. But faith is as you have the wonderful faith, God is there, and to reach to God, the path to God is religion. So God and religion, the goal and the path, both are there. Why to argue? When this condition of mind comes, a great success. But those who are not having that, okay, they should have the doubt, they should go and ask. Well, let us continue a little, since the questions are not there. I had already planned to hear your music. Later on, Niyogi too came to invite me. He is talking about the performance in the Niyogi family. The master was sitting in the small couch. He told Nilkanta that he would like to hear a song or two about the Divine Mother. Nilkanta sang 2 songs with his companions. When the master heard the second song, he stood up and went into Samadhi. Presently, in English, they have not mentioned those songs because it is very difficult for the non-Bengali people to understand those Krishna, Kali Kirtan. So perhaps the Swamiji didn't mention it over here. When the master heard the second song, he stood up and went into Samadhi. Presently, he began to dance in an ecstasy of divine love. Nilakanta and the devotees sang and they danced around him. Then Nilakanta sang a song about Shiva and the master danced with the devotees. When the singing was over, Sri Ramakrishna said to Nilakanta, I should like to hear that song of yours I heard in Calcutta. About Sri Gauranga? Master, yes, yes. Nilakanta sang the song, the beautiful Gauranga, the youthful dancer, fair as molten gold. Sri Ramakrishna sang again and again the line, everything is swept away by the onrush of love. So he was repeating the song. The dance with Nilkanta and the other devotees, those who saw that indescribable dancing were never to forget it. The room was filled with the people. Monomohan was in an ecstatic mood. He was a devotee of Sri Ramakrishna and a brother-in-law of Rakhal. So several ladies of his family had come with him. They were witnessing the divine music and dancing from the north veranda. Master Moshe, though the whole things were going on, Master Moshe was observing and recording. His specialty was Sri Master Moshe. He never wrote over there. He had a photogenic memory. He used to see the things what is happening. The ladies from the veranda, they were also looking. A lot of people, they also gathered. They were also listening and seeing those things. He noticed it. And that he kept in his mind. Afterwards, he noted it down and so beautifully he published. And this, the way he is giving the picture, so we can imagine the wonderful memory of Master Moshe, and we are so grateful to him. Hearing the loud music, many people gathered about the room, and the verandas are to the south and north, and the semicircular porch to the west of the room were crowded with people. Even passengers in the boats going along the Ganges were attracted. The music was over. Sri Ramakrishna bowed to the Divine Mother, said, now again, Bhagavat Bhakta Bhagavan. This is the unique way we can say the slogan of Sri Ramakrishna gave. Bhagavat, Bhagavat is the scripture, Bhakta, the student who is reading that, and then Bhagavan, the God. Bhagavat, Bhakta, Bhagavan. Now they sang the song, they danced, and they enjoyed that. Now what actually the ultimate goal? That is what Sri Ramakrishna wants to say. The ultimate goal, you should transform yourself into that Godhead, that divinity. The Bhagavat, instructions of the scripture, Bhakta, the devotee who is following those instructions, and then transforming into that Godhood. Bhagavat Bhakta Bhagavan. My salutations to the Jnanis, my salutations to the yogis, my salutations to the bhaktas. Any other question? No. The master was seated on the semicircular porch with Nilakanta and the other devotees. The autumn moon flooded all the quarters with light. Sri Ramakrishna and Nilakanta talked. Nilakanta, you are none other than Gauranga. So this is the devotees. So he understood about Sri Ramakrishna. Why should you say such a thing? I am the servant of all. This is the humble way he is mentioning. The waves belong to the Gangas, but does the Ganges belong to the waves? Nilakanta, you may say whatever you like, but we regard you as Gauranga himself, the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Master tenderly in an ecstatic mood. Now this, I must say, one should not only listen but note down about Sri Ramakrishna. The Sri Ramakrishna is God himself. When he said that you may show that you are the waves but not the Ganga, that means you are not God but the divine play of the divine God, but I consider you as the God. Now Sri Ramakrishna giving the answer. My dear sir, I try to seek my I, but I don't find it. There is no ego at all. And when there is no ego, what remains? God only. So that's why Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he said, the realization of God is possible when there is no ego, the I. I means the ego. I, me and mine. So that I is not there. Sri Ramakrishna indirectly giving the hint to that singer that you are correct, you are true. I am that God. That he is telling, dear sir, I try to seek my I, but I do not find it. What shall I say, sir? Please be gracious to us. That he is praying to the Sri Ramakrishna. You are ferrying many people across the ocean of the world. Master Sri Ramakrishna encouraging him. How many hearts are illumined by hearing your music? Then Nilakanta, you talk of ferrying, but bless me that I may not be drowned in the ocean myself. You know, he is not confident about that realization. Though the Sri Ramakrishna is telling him, but he is not confident, he is telling, that is okay if you are saying, but I myself should not drown in that. Master smiling, if you get drowned, it will be in the sea of immortality. Sri Ramakrishna was delighted with Nilkanta's company. He said to the musician, for you to have come here, you whom people see as a result of many austerities and prayers, listened to a song. The master sang a song, 2 lines of which ran like this: When the blissful mother comes to my house, how much of the Chandi I shall hear. How many monks will come here, and how many yogis with matted locks. In that Bengali song, usually this is called the Agamani. Just before the Durga Puja, the devotee, they sing in that way, praising that because of the Ganesha, Ma Durga is coming to our house. The God they accept as their own family member, as a daughter coming from her in-laws' house to her father's house, and with their son and the daughter. That way the Bengali they will sing in this way. And it particularly these 2 lines I noted, Ghore Anbo Chandi is a Bengali song, Korne Shunbo Chandi, Ashbe Kato Dandi, Jota Juto Dhari. When the blissful mother comes to my house, how much of the Chandi I shall hear. This Chandi means the book, the Shaptashati. This is a book that gives about the Shakti, the Durga. How many monks will come here? When there is a Durga Puja, then naturally the monks they come, and how they are giving the expression of the monks? Dandi, they are carrying that rod, and also Jota Jutodhari with the matted locks and all that. So as long as the Divine Mother has come here, many yogis and matted locks will come too. When Sri Ramakrishna laughed to M. Baburam and the other devotees, he said, I feel very much like laughing. Just fancy, I am singing for these musicians. Sri Ramakrishna, the humble, he is telling, I am singing before the musicians. Friends, thank you for attending this, and I really feel blessed by reading this book and trying to explain in my own way whatever I can understand. So this is the great teaching that Sri Ramakrishna always gives us. Whatever we are doing, if we are doing for the betterment of others, that means it is the God's will that we are performing. We should remember it. The God has taken different forms, and we also of the same, but part of the divine play, and we should feel ourselves blessed that we are a part of the divine play. Thank you very much. Let us chant this mantra and conclude. Niranjanam nityam anantarupam bhaktanukampa dhrita vigraham vai Ishavataram parameshamidyam tam Ramakrishnam shirasa namamaha. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.